Let's see you make this one funny, huh?
Oh, come on.
Oh, don't come on me.
Ugh.
Oh, you're gross. But still, let's see the joke. Let's see you make this game funny.
To be fair, 90% of hockey fans found that game hilarious.
And the other 10%?
Oh, I got nothing for Bruins fans. But humor's not really what we're looking for right now.
That's literally the only reason people watch you.
Not in times like this. Right now, all they're looking for is a scapegoat.
Like your coach?
For some, sure. But most of us will go after players. Pasternak, Swayman, Coyle, Lindholm. Geeky seems mostly immune on this channel. But, for instance, I'm going to go after Zadorov a lot.
And that makes Bostonians feel better?
God, no. But it does give us a false sense of superiority, which is basically the same thing.
You seriously don't have a punchline for any of this?
Nope. Nothing. But I do promise you one thing. By the time the next game rolls around, Bruins players are going to be so starved for love that they'll be considering a marriage to Lorena Bobbitt.
No one's gonna get that. That joke is literally older than you are.
Call it a classic. Low quality fans. High quality Bruins team. We gotta say it. It's the tagline, man. We gotta say it. This was not a dub. God, how do you put this? What's a good metaphor? What's a good metaphor for this? I was so proud of this team, man. I was so proud of this team. About 30 minutes into this game, I was so proud of them. I mean, we're going to get there. I'm going to try to keep this somewhat short because this will be the third night in a row where I'm getting about 4 hours of sleep followed by a 10-hour shift. I'm never good at keeping it short when I say that. Man, I was so proud of him. I was so proud. And now I'm kind of disgusted. Is that an overreaction? Like, I know a lot of you guys watch the channel because of, positivity and optimism, but I'm not stupid. I mean, I'm a little stupid, but I'm not stupid. I see what's going on, and I talk about the negative things. And I try to find the positives in them. Right now, that's getting a little tricky. Because going into this game, we're 4-1-1 in our last 6 going into this game. Which is awesome. I don't want to let go of that yet. That's awesome. This game was a disaster. We have had way too many of these games this season already. This is game 18. And we have 4 or 5 of these. Oh. Hey, by the way, the Discord's still awesome. Still awesome. The link is below if you want to join the Discord and get chatting with people. A lot of people lurking there. A lot of people are very active. So whichever one you want to be, jump in. The prediction contest is super fun and competitive. People get to talk a bunch of crap without getting their little feelings hurt all over the place. It's fun. You can follow me on Twitter. I think I'm going to start one of those Blue Sky things or whatever. I don't know. There's another social media that I'm supposed to be on. The YouTube membership program, the High Quality Inspectors. Thank you so much for all the support. God knows we all need a little support these days. But I really do appreciate you guys. I love you guys. I kind of wanted to do a whole year from hell thing for the Bruins, but I don't even get to. Football teams have that all the time. The year from hell, which is every important player on the team is injured. And the Bruins are having some injuries here, but no, this isn't like a year from hell. This absolutely is not yet. This is what the team is right now. Hampus is week to week, but that's basically the bad luck so far. That's it. Now Hampus has been our best defenseman, so it's pretty bad luck, but you look around the league, there's a lot of teams facing a lot worse. The Dallas Stars. Let's talk about them first. I'm not making a lot of sense. I'm just ranting. The Dallas Stars. This is the second meeting of the year with them. They lost 5-2 we lost 5-2 late in October to them, allowing 3 power play goals to the Stars. Penalty kill is still really bad, but was was bad in that game. They have the 17th ranked power play, the 7th ranked penalty kill, the 13th in goals for, and they are 2nd in goals allowed. And boy, are they really, really, really great defensively. Really aggressive, really fast. Ottinger's having a great year, a .914 save percentage going into this game, a sub 2.5 goals allowed average, silencing a lot of doubters from last year. And I've been poking my head around the Stars a lot this season just because I'm very high on this team. A lot of us are. I'm not alone in that. But they've seemed somewhat underwhelming in moments. They're not quite as dominant or as deep as they should be. They are that deep. They just haven't looked that way. And I kind of had some confusing moments because I haven't been able to watch a ton of them. I've watched a lot of their highlights, but that doesn't tell you the whole story. So I go in to look at what the fan base keeps saying about them, and a lot of it is, hey, why are we splitting up the lines like this? Rupe Hintz, Wyatt Johnston are two of the very important players in this team, and Rupe plays on the top line. Wyatt was centering the third line to start this game. And the fan base is just they're just losing their mind over spreading out the talent so much when you'd like for that top line of the Robertson, Hintz, Johnston line to stay together. It's all nothing. They're going to figure it out what their best combination is by the time the playoffs come around because the team's damn good. They're damn good. Very, very good. Just a lot of unpopular deployment of the players, according to Two Stars fans that are very vocal, so maybe that's not the majority, but that's what I've been seeing. The Bruins, on the other hand, are still trying to figure their stuff out. But they go into this game 4-1-1 in their last 6. They haven't really beaten any team that's impressive. They haven't beaten any good team, basically, at all. They've had some good wins in there, but typically there's some injury stuff there for the other team. It's that team's underperforming at the time. Not a lot of good wins for the Bruins so far. And I'm going into this game, and I had this gut feeling that was so unbelievably wrong, it's embarrassing. Because I was like, I think we're turning a corner, and this game might not be impressive. I think the Bruins are going to bring it to Dallas. And I think we can walk away with a win. I really think that. But at very least, they're going to bring it to them. The lineups are Geeky Zakapasta, Marchand Lindholm Brazeau, Frederick Coyle Kastelik, Beecher, Brown Kepke, Zadorov Mack, Lorai Carlo, Osterley, Wotherspoon. Osterley gets the call up with the Hampus Lindholm injury. He is week to week. And Monty was very clear, don't ask me about it next week. It is going to be multiple weeks. Lorai is now pushed into a role, a top 4 role, so we got to look at that. Peak is still listed as week to week. Johnson, Tyler Johnson signed to a PTO, forced Patra out of the lineup. He gets scratched for Patrick Brown, who was an absolute disaster. The 4th line gets broken up. And now, instead of having a really good 4th line and a so-so 3rd line, now the 3rd line sucks, and so does the 4th one. Although, it's funny, the 3rd line was not good, but Frederick Coyle had a bunch of moments where you're like, nice, including a goal. But they had a ton of moments where you really like what they were bringing, but for the most part, they were still hemmed into their zone for huge portions of this one. I don't know, hard to really tell considering the second half of the game, the Bruins gave up. I don't say that lightly. The Boston Bruins, much like in the Canes game, gave up. They were done. And it seemed to be in a weird way, too. But we're gonna get there relatively quickly. Which I guess means we're gonna talk about the game now. Puck drops. Put some heart and soul into it. Come on! I don't gotta be bitter about it. 109 in. There's one thing this team really can't afford, because offensively, we're just not gifted. Like this Pasternak. And Marchand's coming back to life. But offensively, we're not a juggernaut. We know that. We knew that going into the season. That was the plan, is to have a offense. But defensively, we were supposed to be wicked good. Doing a lot of these facial expressions today. I don't think I like it. Stars score 109 into the game on their first shot of the game. McAvoy stumbles, chasing down a dump in, allowing Marchment to grab the puck, go around the net, just basically drop it off for Duchesne, who's at the bottom of the left circle. He does have Kastelik right in front of him, but he just fires us right through him. Swayman probably doesn't see it very quickly, maybe screened by Kastelik, I'm not sure, but it does beat him. It's 1-0, 109 in. Okay, can't really afford these early goals because offensively we're not that gifted, but it's 1-0. Yes, it's a disadvantage for the rest of the game. You have 58 minutes and 51 seconds to correct this. It's gonna be fine. And then 6 minutes in, a 2-on-1 off of a broken stick by Smith. Costello gets a chance from the right side of the slot, and Otter makes a huge save. Blocker side shoulder, bumps it out. We can't settle the rebound for the open net. The chance is gone, but it's a good chance. It's a little bit lucky from a broken stick, but it's a good chance. On the ensuing play up the ice, Dadonov gets behind Mason Lohrei. Shouldn't have happened. Should not have happened, but it did. And Lohrei is harassing him from behind. They call a penalty shot here. Lohrei strips Dadonov of the puck and skates away with it. And then they lift the arm, and they call a penalty shot. First of all, how many things have we seen? Egregious penalties on breakaways that weren't called penalty shots. Just weird. Because after the replay, obviously live, if it looked like this too, but after the replay, you went, I can't find the penalty. No clue what the actual call was supposed to be. Because there wasn't holding, there wasn't slashing, there wasn't hooking. I have no idea what the penalty on Mason Lohrei is here. No clue. But hey, they called it. Dadonov looks high blocker basically the whole way, gets Swayman's stick just up a little bit, and then he buries it. Really great shot between the arm and the chest. And it's 2-0, less than 7 minutes into this game. Yes, you would be fully fine. You would be respected. You would not be looked down upon for going, not so sure the Bruins can have a 2-goal comeback against this team in their current construction. I didn't have a lot of faith in that either. But it was still so early. It was so early. Bruins were having trouble getting a lot going, but there were moments. They had chances, and Otter was just stopping everything. 7:15 left. Carlo is chasing a puck down behind our net. He's going straight for it. He hits the brakes as he looks to play the puck. And Jamie Benn goes full numbers 3 feet from the boards, knocks his face right into the boards. Full numbers. He doesn't slow down. He even finishes his check with the elbow flare and everything. Full numbers. I remember saying in a last video or the video before that I haven't had a lot of ref moments this year where I'm like, what the hell? They call a major. Carlo gets helped down the ice, down the tunnel. Now, he does return, which is blowing my mind, and I really don't want to comment on that too much. I just really hope they were positive he was okay before he came back. He has 6 concussions through his career. Carlo, 6. Don't bring him back unless you know he can play. 5-minute call for Borden. Major. They review it. They bring it down to 2 minutes. Now look, did this have a huge effect on the game? Probably not. Our power play is that bad where a 5-minute major means nothing to me. We weren't going to score on it. I have no faith in our power play right now. It's literally worse than the league. It is literally the worst power play in the league right now. Not great. Not great. But that was a major. That was a major all day. I have no clue what they saw to make them downgrade it. I know Carlos slows up to play the puck, but he went full numbers, a dangerous distance from the boards, and Ben was not committed to the hit when Carlos started slowing up. That is a textbook major. No idea what the refs are looking at there. Either way, the power play is awful. Carlos seems like he's going to be out for a couple of weeks at this point, right? It looked bad. This is where I started getting proud of the team. Because they started fighting and clawing and gritty bullshit just to get every inch of ice they could. They fought and clawed for every piece of ice. Every inch of space, every loose puck, every board battle, everything. They fought for it. Oh, I did skip a very important thing here. Zadorov did something positive in the defensive zone. After the Carlo hit, he fights Jamie Benn and beats the shit out of him. Do you know those fights where like, all right, it's kind of even jostling, and then one guy just pounds on the dude until he literally can't stand anymore? I swear the last 2 or 3 punches of this, Zadorov's holding him up so he can get a few more in. Zadorov has earned at least a couple million of that $30 million contract just pummeling Ben's face for that one. Great work, Zadorov. You would be a huge reason we lost this game, but good work there. That sounded negative. All right, we're going to bring it back. They fought for every inch after this. And with 2:12 left in the period, a weird and effective play by Frederick to just force his way over that blue line, meeting defensemen along the way, and just keeps flailing his way through, keeping the puck. He's got a defenseman draped all over him, and he somehow still manages to get this puck across the crease to Coyle, who slams it into the net for a backdoor tap-in that Otter still gets a piece of, and it's 2-1. Going into the second period, it's 2-1. A late period goal after you look like you just lost Carlo. You have Osterley and Lohrei has not looked good so far this year, so I'm counting Lohrei in this, and Wotherspoon playing real minutes for your team on the back end. You basically have Zadorov and McAvoy, and Zadorov has been an unmitigated disaster defensively, and you still claw back to within one. And I'm sitting here going, if the Bruins can get an ugly game and make this a competitive game, win or loss, who gives a shit at this point? But if they can show they can stick with this team through this kind of adversity, I'm really going to start believing in them. I'm not going to have a choice but to go, this team is going to do something. And they get into the second period, and somehow Carlo's on the bench. And 1:20 in, Pasta's trip, we're going to the power play. And there's no dice on this power play. We don't score. And we had a moment where Pasta's wide open in the slot, and somehow Zacha decides that skates are the way to pass it. You know, you just want to chuck it right into the skates. That's the best way to make them receive the puck. But we're in the offensive zone, and we're creating. And then, about 11 minutes left of the second period, and me beaming, proud. They're forcing their will upon this game. They're present, and they're pressuring, and they're all about it. About 11 minutes left. They just stop. Dallas has more skill. I'll give them that all day. But they just completely take over. Bruins can't win a board battle. They can't clear their zone. They're turning it over in the neutral zone over and over again. No longer can they connect on a pass. They're not on time for their forechecks. They look gassed. They just stopped. And after a few minutes of pure Dallas play, 5:45 left, the Stars, they've really started to pour it on, and Beecher ices the puck. When he doesn't need to, he's skating the puck out, and he ices it. So, the ensuing face-off, Stars get all set up off of it. Puck gets to Harley at the top of the center of the blue line. He's going to hammer this on net. It's going to have 4 bodies in front of it before he even gets to Swayman. Not going to get to Swayman. It's going to bounce off those bodies. Stankoven's going to be the lucky 5th player. He's the only one who spots the puck. Add Swayman to that equation. It's a wide open net, and it is 3-1. They were fighting and clawing for 30 minutes, and then they just stopped. And over the last 6 minutes, just wave after wave after wave, they finally got a bounce. They extend their lead to 2 goals. Okay, deflating, but get back to it. Do what you did to end the first period, to begin the second. Just fight, grit. You're big. That's the purpose of your game, is size in winning board battles. A minute 41 later, a lazy turnover by Zadorov. It gets tipped on his exiting pass. It turns into a 3-on-2 the other way, and it's all space. Blackwell down the center of the ice. They finally try to squeeze him out a little bit. He's going to try to dish it to Bach. I don't actually know how to say that guy's name. I'm going to go with Bach. It bounces off Zadorov's skate, but Bach is still able to get it. Jabs at it with one hand, and it goes perfectly tucked under the crossbar a couple feet in front of Swayman. Just goes right over his shoulder and in. And that is 4-1. Down by 3. Late in the second period. Swayman wasn't great in this game. Each individual goal, you could be like, he did not make the save that you're like, God, thank you. We needed that. 10 seconds left of the period. Dadonov given a free goal. He just skates down the left side of our ice. Zadorov and Zacha just watch, give him space. Zadorov gets down on one knee in front of Swayman. He just gets to skate down the left circle and absolutely snipes high glove, 5-1. And we're going to the third period, we're down 4 goals. There's no chance. I hate to be that guy, but against this team and the way they were playing, no chance in hell they're coming back from this. 47 seconds into the third, Robertson, with a strong keeping on the blue line, really good, skates down the left wall, whips it to Rupe Hintz, who is getting literally sandwiched by Carlo and Lohrei, still able. Rupe Hintz! Carlo and Lohrei. Where's the weight distribution here? He's still able to smack this on Swayman and it leaks through. It's 6-1. Some more stuff happens. We score at one point. There was a bad play by Duchesne, loses an edge, turns into a pasta snipe from the top of the slot, posted in for a 6-2 score, and then at some point, Lorai gets stuck in it. I can't even break down these plays. It's just like, who cares? It's 7-2 after a Lorai 2v1. Carlo got caught up high on the ice. Marchman gets to slam this one-timer from the right circle. 7-2 is your final score. I was so proud of this team through 30 minutes. Just felt like the adversity was there. And you had a chance to make a statement against a team that you think is damn good. Down by 1 goal. You're playing hard. And they just stopped playing hard. They did. That feels like a huge accusation from some just jackass on the couch. But if you watch that game, I don't know how you could argue with me. They showed heart and grit until midway through the second, and it just evaporated. We haven't had a single impressive game this season. Not one. Not one. When you go back through our schedule, I mean, you think of the Montreal game, that was 6-4 final score. Like, yeah, we scored a bunch of goals, but we also allowed 4. The penalty kill's been awful. The power play's been awful. We rank towards the bottom of the league in almost every metric. The injuries are kind of mounting, but even when healthy, this team's getting wrecked, man. We send down one of our better forwards to Providence so that we could bring up Patrick Brown and sign Tyler Johnson and get Geeky back in the lineup. Although Geeky has been really good for 2 games. I don't want to dunk on Geeky. My one positive game note here is that Geeky, the top line actually looks damn good. Geeky Zaka Pasta has been strong. But I don't understand the decisions the team's making. We're not making any changes in the things that we're terrible at. The style of the team hasn't changed. They're still trying to play this skill, run and gun kind of thing where there's just not enough speed and, frankly, not enough skill. I'm trying not to be negative here, but again, I'm not stupid. I see what's happening. We're 8-2. It's not the end of the world, but the 500 stuff, talked about it at the beginning of the season. 15 games, get your shit figured out. 500 record, you're fine. Well, we're at 18 now. We have not a single impressive win in the books. A lot of poor goaltender performances. A ton of poor defense performances. Very few high-end offensive performances. And the special teams have been a disaster. A disaster. We allowed 7 even-strength goals tonight. All of them were even-strength. It's really hard not to be negative after this one. There's a lot of blame to go around. This is not all on Monty. And the way the players gave up in this one, I can't even look at Monty in this one. Watching them just skate listlessly around and give, through the whole third period, the Stars could just skate into our zone. There's no meeting them at the blue line. There was no physicality. They just skated right in, set up, and had their chances. Swayman wasn't great. I mean, he's part of the problem. I'm very much willing to say that. But there's also a ton of moments where you go, like, what is he supposed to do here? Team's a mess. Team's a mess when they play good teams, which is a sign that you're not a good team. Long road left. There's a lot of season left. I got to find an angle to find some positivity. And I think one of the worst parts is, who am I getting excited about on this team right now? Like, Pasta's looked really good the past couple of games. I really think that. Not in the third period in this one. No one did. But Pasta, I think, is waking up and looks really, really good. Zaka looks good next to him. And Geeky on that top line looked good tonight. I don't have anybody else to be like, yay, McAvoy's having a tough season. Zadorov's an absolute disaster. Lorai has not looked good. Swayman's looked like ass. Patra, who I was excited about, well, I'm going to have to start watching Providence games to get my dose in there. It's just really hard to find an angle for some positivity. I'm going to find one, but boy, I'm going to need some time. I said this was going to be a short video, and we're at like 20-something minutes already. Sorry to be negative. I genuinely apologize for that. I can't. I'm sorry. I'm only human. I can't find it tonight. I can't even find where I'd be like, hey, we could fix it by doing it. I'm flabbergasted. Not at the score. Not at us losing to good teams. If we lost to every good team the rest of the way, it's not even that shocking. But It's the way this team just stopped. Just stopped. When it was still 2-1, they just stopped. I don't know what to say about that. Damn. This is my team. I'm going to support them. I love a lot of players on this team. I love this franchise. They're making it real difficult for a lot of reasons. It's not just the results of the games. It's what's happening in the games that's making this real tough. We'll get there, though. We'll get there. The positivity will come back. It will. Go Bees. Go Bees! Of course, we have to give a huge thank you to everyone who's supporting this channel, especially the high-quality inspectors, our top-line tier members, Chris and Erica, Jeff with a G, Tommy Braga, The Bugman, Roland22, GD Viperworks, Len Cruz, Moonlighter TV, Brock Nope, Han Slomo, Coach D, The Atomic Lizard, Bradley Johnson, Aaron Adams, Brett Arney, Pincent, Adam Ella, Big Bad Bruin, and Nick Zatrullo. Thank you all so much for supporting the channel. You're all studs and studettes. And of course, a huge thank you to the Stallions, our all-star tier members, Joel, Doots42, Heil E. Coyote, Darren Woodbury, Abraxion, John Kirk, Michael DiPaolo, Wolf Warrior, Vinny, Adrian Winter, Tupton D. Tashi, Nightmare Eco, Bruin Smash, DeKingery, The Only Newts, A Tasty Snack, Boston Stringler, Matthew Gallagher, Dash Riprock, Jacob Pratt, and Jeremy. You are all absolute legends. I appreciate you eternally. And as usual, go Bees!